and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, welcome back to AussieVerse, where we bring you another top 10 video. I am OmniBeau, joined by Mark, Grodd Watson, and Sharif. How are you guys going today?
Good.
If you do like our content, then please hit that thumbs up so that we can see that you like the content. And if you are enjoying all the stuff, please think about subscribing and sharing the videos so that we can get up to that 400 subscriber giveaway, where one lucky viewer will be getting a $100 Amazon gift card drawn live on the show for one person to buy whatever the hell they want. And you can also find us on Instagram at AussieVerse_comics_collectors. And all of our graphic designing, all of our thumbnails and editing is all done by A51 Designs, where you can hit up on Instagram here. Enough of the plug-in. Let's get down to the lovin'. This is the top 10 DC heroes. Guys, what are your thoughts before getting to number 10? Was this easy? Was it hard?
It was hard. I mean, just before we started, I was just saying this to Mark. The top three, top four was alright for me, but because I've got such high standards for my DC heroes, a lot of them almost couldn't get there. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
So you mean you had too many to choose from?
Look, DC heroes, there's a gamut of them to choose from,
Yeah.
but only a few made my list.
Yeah, it was very hard to choose. Like from probably 7 onwards, I had like 20 characters, and I just had to think deep down which one have I liked better over the past, and try to rethink stories and go, would I actually choose them over this? And then had to swap a few out. I've changed my mind a couple of times. But yeah, narrowed it down, so hopefully I'm okay with it.
This was extremely difficult for me. It was hard for me to come up with 10 DC heroes that I genuinely loved. And even this was, a bit of a struggle. It was also hard because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have multiple super people or multiple Bat family or multiple Lanterns, because that'd be boring. So I've tried to limit that as much as I possibly could. But sometimes I have struggled because, I needed to come up with 10. Funny enough, top 10 DC villains is going to be a lot easier than the heroes for me.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yeah. So let's start things off. We'll start with myself this time, so it's a nice even round. Number 10 of my top 10 DC heroes. A few years ago, I wouldn't have been able to include this character, but as of recently with the retconning, I can, and that is Rorschach from The Watchmen. That is my number 10 DC favorite hero.
Wow. Have you read much for Rorschach, or?
I've only read Watchmen. I keep meaning to buy the Before Watchmen omnibus, and I want to get the Rorschach hardcover as well. I haven't read.
I heard the Tom King one was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been meaning to get that hardcover collection as well. Just couldn't get around to it.
Yep. That line that he pulls in the movie, I'll never forget, and it's a line that I want to use at one point in my life, but I think if you ever actually get to use it, it means you're in a really bad spot, so you never actually want to use it. And it's you think I'm all locked up in this cage with you? You're all locked up in here with me.
Yeah. That is awesome line. He's got a few in that one. Even that one, the world will look up and shout, "Save us," and I'll whisper, "No."
Yeah. Mark, who's your number 10?
My number 10 is Aquaman. I am a big Aquaman fan, but it's usually Aquaman as a story I like better. So Aquaman as a story I put right up there, but Aquaman Arthur Curry as a character don't like as much. I like the supporting cast. I like Mira, Volku, his villains, just the whole sea Atlantis thing that fascinates me. But obviously, I still love Arthur Curry to put him in number 10. So yeah, Aquaman at 10 for me.
King of the Seas.
I nearly put in Aquaman, but 90s version in my list because I love the one then with the long hair and the beard and the hook.
Yep.
Yeah, Peter Davids.
Number 10, Sharif.
Martial artist, archer, Green Arrow, Connor Hawk.
Connor Hawk. Wow.
Connor Hawk.
Good pick.
Yeah. First time reading Green Arrow was just when Ollie died, and the series kind of continued without him for a bit, and then someone else came on. And at that time, I was reading Justice League. They introduced the character. I said, "All right, I want to know more about this one." Jumped on Green Arrow Connor Hawk series and love it. That's my
Sweet.
10.
So I don't know Connor Hawk. So is that his biological son? No. Okay. And is there
it's an adopted son, isn't it? I think it's adopted son.
Is there a quick explanation, and it's highly logical that the answer is no, of how Green Arrow came back to life? Like, because I don't know that.
It
Hal
was
Jordan?
Spectre, I think. Hal
Yeah.
Jordan as Spectre.
Yeah.
When Ollie was trapped on a plane with his hand in like a gauntlet, he was holding on to a trigger or something, and then in order to save someone, I can't remember what, because that was like issue 97. He detonated the plane because it was going somewhere. Superman tried to save him. He got into that explosion.
Yeah.
And then when Hal Jordan as the Spectre came back, he kind of missed Ollie because they were heroes, hard traveling heroes.
Best
and
friend,
then I think he picked a part of Ollie that was still on Soup's suit, and then he.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9. So this is okay. I won't say what I was going to say because it would reveal future picks. Okay, number 9 is Superboy, but specifically the version Superboy that I loved, which was after the death of Superman. The leather jacket, the yellow S on the back, the "Don't call me Superboy." I always got a little lost with this character because when Death of Superman happened, I was very borderline nearly a DC fan because I started reading so much Superman and I loved the reign of the Superman and all of that. And I really, really loved this Superboy character. But then obviously I dropped off DC, and then years later he's come back, but it's not the same Superboy, and he's now a Teen Titan and he's got this red costume. I don't know. I got lost. It is a different Superboy, isn't it?
Same.
Oh, it is the same.
Cornell.
It's still Connor Kent. Yeah.
Okay. Just looks different.
Yeah, he's a new costume. He got updated.
Number 9, Mark.
Number 9 is Red Hood. Usually, for me, Red Hood over the years has probably been up a bit higher, but just at the moment, they just don't know what to do with Red Hood. And he's kind of at a stage where, he's kind of like the DC Punisher, but a bit of a softer version, obviously. So I'm always a fan of him. He's got good skill. I love the costume. Love the dark side of it and in the backstory. So yeah, and Under the Red Hood, loved it all. So yeah, Red Hood, just for the stack of just coolness. Like he's in there and he's always interested. At the moment, I'm reading Task Force Z, and it's kind of revamped my love for Red Hood. So because he's really good in that. So yeah, Red Hood, number 9.
Sweet. Sharif.
He's the winged warrior from Thanagar. Hawkman!
Wow.
You need a bare-chested warrior who can fly? Yeah, him. Berserker Rage, that anti-metal mace. Whack! And you're gone.
I nearly had him on my list as well.
Yeah.
The mace sort of works like Milner, doesn't it? It comes back to him and
Yeah. I mean, ideas, whichever company it is, it's into shared.
Yeah.
All right,
Wow.
number 8. I really tried hard to not have this character on the top 10 list at all. I said to myself, I am not going to put this character on. But I was really struggling with coming up with 10. And I needed another person. So number 8 for me is Batman.
No?
Yeah. I didn't want Batman on the list because, let's be real, Batman is going to be on everybody's top 10 DC, you know? It's just...
Not mine.
Oh, okay. Good work. Good work. It's just, yeah, man, everyone loves Batman. And I hate, but I also love Batman because, yeah, he's just too cool not to love. But, you know, I also don't want to be one of these people that love Batman just because he's cool as well, but I am. So I hate who I am. Anyway, Mark, number 8.
My number 8 is Zatanna. Satara. So yeah, cool costume, really big character.
Fishnets.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's well, in it. Well, yeah, it's sexy as hell, but still. In the new Justice League Dark series, she's wearing pants. So, but still, the top hat's cool. The story with her dad, magician. I like my Justice League Dark characters, so it's not going to be my only Justice League Dark appearance character. So, so yeah, I like Satana, and yeah, the whole saying backwards. Like I tend not to ever read them. I just assume by the action. You know, you see them and they're kind of weird. I'm just going, I'm not figuring that out. I'll just wait until she does it. So yeah.
That's hilarious. I hate reading Zatanna because I have to read it all.
No, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharif.
Number 8.
Look, share my power. Call my name. Shazam! My first magic hero on the list. Look, boyish nativity on a super adult frame. Just the innocence of it. You know, when you have that kind of power, with a teenage or a young person's mind, you just want to do everything good.
Yeah. You want to do everything good. Number 7 for myself is the greatest speedster alive.
Max Mercury.
Barry
Jake
Allen.
Eric.
Barry Allen.
Yep.
Do you know I have not read any Flash that is not Barry Allen?
Okay.
I've not read any Wally West. I've not read any one else. I don't know how many Flashes there are. But yeah, I've only ever read Barry. So if I'm putting Flash on my list, it's Barry.
It's gonna be Barry, yeah. So you missed a lot of chunk of Jess Jones's Flash.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Haven't read any of it.
That's fair enough.
What about you, Mark? Number 7.
Number 7 for me is Green Arrow Oliver Queen. So yeah. The whole Robin Hood sort of complex, and Arrow being out on the island for 5 years. I like Green Arrow's rogues as well, like Merlin. What's the other guy's name? The Count Vertigo's a good bad guy, and yeah. I enjoy Green Arrow. To me, when he pops up, even in his story, if it's not his solo story, it just brings a personality, and I get drawn to that personality. Like even even reading Injustice or reading something like Deceased. Oliver Queen just sticks out to me as enjoyable as a character, so I've always liked that. So yeah, Oliver Queen for me.
Is that the first time we've crossed two members here have crossed paths as characters? Because Sharif had him on his list.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Sharif, number 7.
Last survivor of his planet, super strength, flight, laser eyes,
Crypto.
Martian Manhunter.
Oh.
I may have forgotten to say intangibility, shapeshifter. There you go. And his propensity for Oreo cookies. So he and I have that in common.
Yeah, he's a hard one not to have on the list, I admit.
Agree. That was a tough one too that I tossed up about for a very long time.
I was going to say, in saying that, though, he's not on my list. Number 6 for me is my first Green Lantern. I love this guy ever since I first saw him in Death of Superman. I was instantly drawn to this DC character because it was so different to everything else you see in DC at the time. And I think that's done him a lot of favours, and that's Guy Gardner.
I was just about to say not, but yeah, okay.
Nope. Guy Gardner. I used to love how much he'd piss off Superman.
Yep.
I used to love that dynamic between them. And yeah, obviously he continued on, became a Red Lantern. Yeah, I think he's just kick-ass, man. I love his attitude.
Yeah. I definitely it's out of him or hell I would like out of the Green Lanterns. I don't know. Guy Gardner's just got that, as you said, personality, the kick-ass personality, take no shit.
Rough and brash.
Yeah. Well, ex-football player and whatever. He's the pure, he wants to just duke it out with his fist, doesn't he?
Who was the other character you were mentioning that you thought I was talking about?
Nort.
Or who's that?
He's like a dog.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah. All right. Mark.
My number 6 is the sort of trickster, in a way, I guess, John Constantine. I am a big fan of John Constantine. Everything that I read of John Constantine, I really enjoy. Yeah, this guy just keeps rising on my list. I just keep going. I keep gravitating towards him. Love his sense of humor as well as being very blunt. You got heaven and hell to sort of deal with, and that's always very interesting. And you never really have a villain, an actual villain per se to draw him to, but you got a plethora of options. It's always a bit of a twist towards the end of him. He always has a plan, even though it seems like he doesn't. And and it always seems like he's waking up with a hangover and he regrets stuff. And, he's just really interesting for me. So yeah, Constantine is number 6.
Sharif, number 6.
My 6th pick is the Amazon warrior princess, Diana Themyscira, Wonder Woman.
Nice.
Yeah. I, I've first fell in love with Wonder Woman as a kid when I watched Linda Carter.
Wonder Woman. What drew you to that as a young boy, Sharif?
You know, the personality. Yeah. Yeah. Series ended, and then Xena came out. So, they almost did the Wonder Woman there. But yeah, then when I started reading her in comics, it, the backstory, the Greek stuff, and the mythology of it. Yeah, love that one.
Yeah. All right, top 5. Here we go. My number 5 is your number 6, Mr. John Constantine, which is funny because I've only ever read John in Justice League Dark.
Yep.
And if he's ever appeared in a DC comic that I've read, I've never read Hellblazer and I've never read Constantine books. But I know that when I do, I'm going to love it. And he's a character that I love to see in the DC animated movies because he's always so different to every other character, and I love his bluntness and his, I loved his short-lived show. So yeah, I think I'd be a big Constantine fan if I actually read his books. For him to be number 5 on my top 5 DC heroes, when that's the only exposure I've had to him, can say a lot, I think.
You're going to rise up there.
Yeah.
Very good choice. So my number 5 is Batman. So I get just like Bo said before, apparently not in Sharif's. He kind of is in most people's top 10, I guess now we can say. But it's kind of where it all started, Batman for me. Not so much I adore the character so much now, but it is when a Batman movie comes out, it's massive. So you still got to put him up there, don't you? So, or for me personally. So yeah, Batman, always liked it. He's got great villains. He does always not most of the time have a pretty consistently good story. So and yeah. The backstory, of course, we all know it. The Pearls, Martha and Thomas. It's a tragic one. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see that that's what he dragged from it to make the city fear him, the crime fear him. And, yeah.
All right, Sharif.
My 5th choice, or this character, put him anywhere, can do anything. He's fairly flexible. Plastic Man.
I like it. Wow.
If you think about it, he behind that facade, man, he can do. Dropped out.
That's all right, Sharif. You were talking about Plastic Man, I believe.
Yeah. Where did I stop? With his ability to manipulate his molecular himself at the molecular level, any shape. You want to spy? Choose him.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good choice. Good choice. So what are we up to now? Number 4.
Oh.
My number 4 is Jenny Sparks from The Authority.
Okay, yep.
Ooh.
Jenny Sparks. I bet you didn't see that one coming, did you?
No.
Jenny Sparks, like 100-year-old British woman, chain smoker, drinking alcohol, very Jessica Jones-ish. Spy, badass, character that you can fall in love with very quickly when you read The Authority, which I suggest you do.
Right. So my number 4, most of the time in publication history, has been known as a bit of a villain, but these days I say sort of an anti-hero, is Catwoman, my number 4.
Yeah, I think you could put her. There was a few people that I wasn't sure, because I don't read DC, if they're villains or heroes, but I'm pretty sure you can safely say Catwoman's a hero now, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. Anti-hero. I mean, like, she's not a villain, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Anyway, yeah, I love Catwoman, love Selena Kyle, the backstories, sort of growing up poor, sort of a Robin Hood concept, like she does stuff for poor people. She looks out for the poor community, and she's intelligent, interesting. I'm loving her new run at the moment, done by Ram V, and now it's been changed over, and yeah, it's my most favourite book at the moment. So yeah, Catwoman's just rising, and she's always good in the movies too. I mean, like Michelle Pfeiffer was good. We won't mention Halle Berry because it wasn't quite a movie, was it?
No.
Yep. Anyway, but yeah, and Zoe Kravitz did a great job. Yeah, Catwoman, and the complex between her and Batman is just fascinating. It's the one person that can really get to Batman, I think, if Catwoman tried, like, emotionally.
Yep.
It's the one person that could break the Bat emotionally.
Fair enough. Let me ask you, is Lobo a hero or a villain? Because I know he was a villain.
He's a bounty hunter. So
Yeah.
whoever pays.
Because I was going to put him on my list, but I decided not to because I thought he's more of a villain.
I'd say villain, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sharif?
I don't have Batman, but I have the next best thing.
No.
Robin.
Oh.
Nightwing.
Nightwing. People say Batman light, but it's not. Everything that Bruce knows, Dick knows, and more. He's got that acrobatic part where Bruce may not have it, but yeah, and the fact that he moved out of Gotham into Bloodhaven, which is worse than Gotham.
Are you a fan of the red, or do you prefer the blue?
I prefer the blue. It just so happens that I have the red one.
Yep. No, fair enough. Nightwing is another one that nearly made my list as well. Top 3. So my third favourite character, which I really want to catch up on, because I don't think it's been since Rebirth that I've read him, but is Red Hood. I always loved Red Hood, always drawn to him. I especially want to read the run that had Bizarro in it, because that's another character that I love.
That's the Rebirth one, Scott Lobdell.
Yeah. So I must have stopped reading it just before Bizarro joined. And I remember going to the comic shop and seeing Bizarro in Red Hood all the time, and I was so angry because I want to know what's going on. So sort of collected edition of that.
Well, I've got them on trades if you want to borrow it.
Oh, do you? Yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
That'd be great. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, really good. Number 3. So top 3 now. So I am going with Flash, Barry Allen as well. So yeah, Barry's always been my Flash as well. I haven't read too much Wally, but I kind of like Barry's awkwardness, I guess you could say. How he's not real sociable, and he's kind of I guess you could say nerdy sort of guy. And I like the whole how he works for the police as well as the forensic scientist sort of thing and stuff like that, having another life and stuff like that. So, and Iris, and obviously I love Barry Allen's Rogues Galleries, as you will find out in our Villains episode. Very heavily Flash Rogues, but yeah, love Barry. I like how Barry cares so much. Like it's all he just wants to save everybody and everything. And I'm really drawn to it. Like reading Barry it does inspire you. Not most of these comic book characters do, but yeah, Barry to me for some reason does.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you.
Third position for me is the one who tells you to beware of his light.
Yeah.
Green Lantern.
Yep.
But which Green Lantern though?
Can I pick?
Go.
Kyle Rayner.
Kyle Rayner.
Ah.
Right. He is my Green Lantern mainly because with Hal, he has such a backstory that goes all the way back. And I couldn't be bothered to read up on him. So when Hal fell and the ring just dropped into Kyle's hands, that's where my Green Lantern started. Artist. So when your power comes from will and it manifests from your imagination, what better person than an artist? So Kyle, my Kyle.
Yeah, mate, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Choice. Number 2 for me is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. I absolutely love Green Lanterns. I love the storylines, and there's so much that I haven't read, but what I have read, I've absolutely loved. And Hal Jordan has always been Green Lantern to me. He was Green Lantern when I was a kid. He stopped being Green Lantern when I got into Marvel, I guess, around that age, which is when obviously people your age, Sharif, started picking up Kyle Rayner. And then when I decided to start reading DC a little, Hal Jordan was back again as Green Lantern. So to me, it's always been Hal. So there you go. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, number 2.
Nice. Very nice. So my number 2 has been mentioned. Just exactly like Sharif said, Nightwing. So I love Nightwing. See, the interesting thing about what I think about Nightwing is that, like, he's gone through the tragedy very similar to Bruce, and he hasn't gotten that dark edge to him. Like, he still goes out and he dates. He still goes out and he's happy, I guess, even, because Bruce is pretty miserable, isn't he? Still, most of the time, and he can be a bit of a jerk. Dick Grayson is the other side of that spectrum. He's a good. I mean, Bruce is a good human being. Don't get me wrong, but Nightwing's Dick Grayson's turned out the best that you could at that tragedy, and he's puts it out there to good use. The Acrobats, as he said, Bloodhaven. He's got his own rogues gallery now, and it is building, and it is good, and it's fun. And as I said, he's got relationships that he deals with. It's fun, and he's always trying to figure out a job. He's very intelligent, and I just find Nightwing fascinating, to be honest. So yeah, number 2.
So great.
My number 2. Well, it's already there. Well, not Mark, but
oh my God, another one.
Oh no.
You just remember number
there you
one.
go, Mark.
We just know you're number one now.
Right. But which one though?
Yeah. Can I pick Wally? Because you are Kyle Rayner, so I'm thinking Wally.
Wally.
Yeah.
Like I said, my DC starts after Crisis, and Barry died in Crisis. So when I started picking up Flash, it's always been Wally. When Mark Waid took over, that's when I really fell in love with him. But when Jeff Johns took over, his powers just went.
Yeah. Well, Wally is the faster, I guess you could say that. So yeah,
Wally's faster.
He's 100% faster.
Barry said it.
Oh, what?
There's actually, by Joshua Williamson, he made up a speed chart as an actual poster, and it has them racing all together, and it has who is the fastest out of all the speedsters. Even reverse flashes on it, and that. I'll Google it up and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to see. I'd like that. I've always loved the meme that you see where they're getting ready for a race, and in the line is Flash, Superman, Speedy Gonzalez, Roadrunner. I don't know who else. And then at the end of the line is Batman, and they all look at him and they're like, and he goes, "'Cause I'm Batman." Of course. All right, number one. We have something very important to say, though, before we reveal our number one, ladies and gentlemen. Can you guess what it is?
Sponsor?
Sponsor indeed.
This show is sponsored by the Comx shop. Check out comx.cx for all things Comx and find out what Comx is all about. Then head over to comx.shop to pick up a variety of Australian comics from multiple creators and publishers, all for one flat postage rate. We hope you enjoy the show.
That's right. You buy one comic, you buy 10. It is one flat postage rate from Comx. Go support Australian comic book creators, writers, artists, all at Comx. Good work, Sharif. All right, number one. It is the last son of Krypton. Of course it is. The Man of Tomorrow, the Man of Steel,
Krypton,
the Big Blue Boy Scout.
Bizarro.
Oh, shit. You got it. How can Superman not be number one? He is the most iconic, the greatest symbol of hope around the world. It is freaking Superman. That symbol is just everything.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. Got a feeling you will. Well, I actually didn't have Superman on my list.
Oh my God.
I know.
Mark Savage.
I know. Basically, for the same reason as I put Aquaman as number 10. Again, I love Superman's stories, but I feel his side characters and stuff like that make it for me, not the Superman character himself. Yeah. As I said, I love it, but I love Superman's stories more than I love Superman. Again, if that makes sense. Yeah, I like Lois Lane and Perry White and Jimmy Olsen and like Superman's Rose Gallery. I love too. I love Cyborg Superman. I love Zod, all stuff like that. So I feel that really builds to me like in Superman stories. But Superman himself, like if he comes in the Justice League, it's just not as. But yeah, that's my example, I guess. But I love Superman. I had him on my short list, and I totally agree with yous that he is the best and the first, but not my best. Yeah. Also, mine is I mentioned a few times, and it's obviously a weird one. So my number one has always been and always will be Swamp Thing. So yeah, I love the horror story, the weirdness, the Justice League Dark. I love Alan Moore's run. Like, it was so weird and creepy. There's even a sex scene in it, which I didn't even know could be possible. And by the end of it, I was just like, what did I just read? But anyway, yeah, I love Swamp Thing. You never know what's coming next with Swamp Thing. And as I said, all doors are open with Swamp Thing, because you know what you're getting yourself into if you read Swamp Thing, because it's going to be weird. Could be anything. So I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. Character Alec Holland as well. So I'll go. I like the new character as well, Levi. But yeah, I love the TV show. I'd love to see something. What's that?
There's a new Swamp Thing.
Yeah, Levi, his name is. So Alex Holland no longer exists. Well, he does as sort of an entity, I guess. He sort of trains him up. But yeah, there's a new Swamp Thing. The Green's taken over a dude named Levi from his background's from India. So yeah,
okay,
it's pretty cool.
Fair enough. I've always wanted to read Swamp Thing because I know I'd like it, but I never have.
Okay.
Sure.
Not even Alan Moore's? Or?
No. But I tell you what, I plan to get it one day because all I hear about is Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
Right. So you may have had a peek. So I'm just gonna go ahead with it.
It's the electric blue Superman.
Whatever color, blue, electric, red, rainbow. You've said it itself, Bo. I don't think there's anything much more for me to add. But except let me just share with you one of the favorite covers that I have for my shelf. From John Byrne. That's just it for me. Yeah. So thank you very much.
It would seem like you've taken a bit of inspiration from Superman and decided to wear your underwear on the outside, which is fine.
It's cold. It's cold.
Oh my god, I'm literally speechless. I have no words.
And that's it for tonight.
Actually, like, what would be the purpose of wearing your underwear on the outside? Like, when the costume was designed,
it was to make him look more like a wrestler.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
That's. I'm pretty sure that's where the story is. What they originally said, where the design came from. They wanted him to be, like a wrestler, like a lucha libre. But I don't think they ever pictured, someone like Sharif walking around his lounge room, inspiration and all.
Yeah.
That is going to haunt my nightmares.
Yeah,
well, we had fun. Thank you very much for joining us on another Top 10. We have now done Top 10 Marvel and DC heroes. Next list will be Marvel villains and DC villains. Who is on your Top 10 DC heroes? Do you think one of our lists absolutely rocks? Do you think one of our lists absolutely sucks? Do you think you should have an amalgamation of two lists here? Or should I want to let us know in the comments? And please give us ideas for any other top 10 lists that you would like. And we will see you Monday on live chat and next Thursday for whatever the hell we upload then. See you later, guys. And as normal, AussieVerse.